Good afternoon, soccer fans. We are back. The final match on the schedule, semifinal number 2 of the SportCheck National Club Championships Under 14 Cup on Bell Alliant FiberOp TV1. This matchup between the BC side and the Quebec side on the boys' side of the tournament. For British Columbia, you're looking at the Surrey United Soccer Club. And the Quebec side is CS Repentigny. Semifinal number 1 in the books. The Toronto side edged out the Sherwood Park side from Alberta in a 4-3 final. The decision went to penalties. It was a great matchup, and here we have another matchup that will be hopefully just as dynamic as the one that was on earlier today. You're tuned in to Bell Alliant FiberOp TV1, the leader in local sports webcasting in Atlantic Canada. The website is tv1.bellalliant.ca. Run down through the starters for each team. Starting with the Quebec side, Tofik Biru, Jean Boyer, Gabriel Capano-Gauthier, Mohamed Shaif, Evan Zeze, Thomas Gagnon, Antoine Henry, Benit Dev Letet, Samuel Marchand, Daniel Sukunu, Yannick Rochette, Kaya Samuel, Christian Simba, Samuel Valencia Marquez, William Parizeau, and Joey Pardee-Laflamme, as well as Adriano Serpente. So we are underway. I'll take this time to run down through the rosters for British Columbia, the Surrey United Soccer Club. They include Parmir Ajla, Sebastian Bozrap, Carmen Batar, and that's Batar handling the ball on the far touchline. Christian Campagna, Simon Collin, Nathan Demian, Bikram Dillon, and Karn Dillon, Mariano Garcia Barandiaran, Juvraj Kuner, Luke Lay, Arjun Mann, Jordan Marwood, Sean Prasad, Navraj Purewal, Gavin Samra, Carson Sayers, and last but not least, Jacob Soul. And Merrick Nakonyekny joining me, and I want to give you this program, my friend. It has the numbers written in already for the
Perfect.
Quebec and the BC sides. Didn't want to throw you off there.
Yeah, semifinal action here. Trying to decide who will face off with Ontario's reps, Toronto Epic FC, in the final tomorrow, Thanksgiving Monday, 12 p.m. Newfoundland time here at King George V Park, as BC and Quebec, two powerhouses, set to face each other. Wiry pace to start this match.
It's controlled here on the near touchline. That's Eze. Some nice dribbling through traffic. Little back-footed pass. Sent in for Mann. Mann turns, had a bit of space, tipped it onward. The shot fired and a quick strike. Save is made, and getting his foot to ball was none other than, let's see if we can run down, Cooner. Yes, that's right.
Yeah, good setup there by Mann. Cooner gets a good shot attempt off, but met by the Quebec goalkeeper.
I'd like to encourage everyone to get in touch on Twitter. You can follow at Canada Soccer EN, or if you're watching from Quebec, at Canada Soccer FR for all the updates throughout the tournament.
Man, almost tripped up there. No call, though.
It's sent out off the fence along the backside of the park for another Surrey throw-in. It's off the head of man. He finds it again. And then it lands on his boot. Some nice, bright blue boots for Arjun Man in this match. And we'll encourage everyone to get in touch on Twitter as well. At Jeremy_Reynolds is the way to do it. Get your shout-outs in. We'll read them on the air. Do have Patrick Gauthier, who's now become a follower. So thank you, Patrick. Please chime in if you want to give a shout-out to anyone.
Proclaim to me, Jeremy, that he's not much of a Twitter user. Needed some assistance in sorting that out, but likely to hear from him as he's in the stands cheering on his Quebec side.
This ball sent ahead, getting underneath the player from Quebec.
Off his arm. Mohamed Chayev maybe, hit him in the arm as he tried to carry his dribble, giving up possession to BC. Campagna quick to play the possession ball wide.
And Campagna is a very tough defender. Quebec will have their work cut out for him if they want to get by Campagna.
Samra was bullied off the ball there for BC. Far too easily, in my opinion. Good touch from Easy.
There's Eze again.
Eze, perhaps a more appropriate pronunciation. Great flat top hairdo from him.
Gotta love the flat top, rocking the 90s style.
Yeah, really respected. Good touch inside from him now.
Yes, gets around, send it forward, and defended well by one of the Dillon brothers, I believe.
Two massive powerhouses facing off here, much like the other semifinal. Here we see our most westerly province, beautiful British Columbia, facing off against Quebec.
La Belle Provence.
La Belle Provence, exactly. I hear from some local supporters that CS Repentigny is relatively new on the national scene. Not one of the main clubs, always featured as Quebec representatives.
Maybe, Merrick, you can tell our viewers from BC exactly where in Quebec that team is from.
I'm not sure, to be honest, Jeremy. I know I was told from a smaller town, not from a major powerhouse area. You see Toronto Epic FC, hailing from Toronto, the Ontario representatives. Lots of talent to pluck from in such a big metro area.
Yes, the Lower Mainland, as it's known. As both teams are testing each other out in their early going.
Easy, or Eze to keep it in here.
Eze.
Dipsy Doodle as well.
Great job along the touchline. Touched on, turned inside. Now a chance for the Quebec side. Boyer.
Out wide.
Biru. Then sent in a high ball that goes toward the back post. Eze found it there. And
Good decision from Eze. Unable to threaten the goal with that header, so tries to play it back across the face of the net. Unable to find a teammate, though. As number 11 is bulldozed there. Daniel Ntsukunu. That's the best I can do, folks.
I think we'll just leave the N silent and say Sukunu.
As Colin offended him there, seems to have gotten the worst end of the challenge.
Colin,
grabbing his foot.
Dynamic player. May lack size, but makes up for it with speed and skill, and he seems to be okay, but limping.
Yeah, fantastic dribbler of the ball, Simon Collin.
This is sent, and it'll drop harmlessly out of bounds.
That was Gabriel Capano-Gauthier with the set piece, wayward. First time doing the commentary for Quebec for Jeremy and I. First time they're in action at King George V Park, this National Club Championship.
Yeah, first time.
Brought to you by Sport Check.
Sport Check, that's right, the national sponsor. These teams
14 Cup action.
The winner of this game will go on to face the Ontario side, Toronto Epic.
Colin appearing to have all kinds of things wrong with him after that collision. First clutching the foot, then rubbing his shoulder, his right shoulder, as he bounces his arm up and down. Maybe a little bit of a dislocation there, a slight tweak of the shoulder joint.
Hopefully nothing serious. This Argent man putting on
See
a
that
dribbling
from
clinic.
His ball control is next to the best we've seen at this tournament.
That'll be sent on back to the keeper. Once more as he sends it quickly up to midfield. Met there by Campagna. Kept in along the far touchline by Batar, I believe.
Off him eventually for a throw-in. Fans from both sides into this match, not willing to sit on the bleachers. Right on the sideline, involved in the action, almost.
Can't blame him in this semi-final number 2 of the afternoon. That's off for a Quebec throw-in. Lots of distance on that one. Heaved up. Campagna was there to defend well.
Big 50-50 challenge as Dylan meets the number 9.
Eze looked
Cheeky
across.
from him.
Yes, cut inside with the left boot. Now back and knocked off the ball by Karn Dillon. Defended very well from one of the Dillon brothers.
A little bit too much from him. Look at these fans here basically in the game.
And they have their own theme song.
Allez Quebec, we hear from them. Man picking up his dribble now, linking up with Samra.
Samra.
Ball wide.
Touch, yes, a shade wide. And the Repentigny supporters, the most vocal we've seen so far, it seems.
Absolutely. Momentous occasion, of course, the semifinal. The winner to face off against Ontario.
So we've gone over 10 minutes in this match, and it doesn't seem like it's been that long, Merrick, but this game is flowing along at a quick pace.
I'll say the same thing as I said in the other semifinal. I would love to see an early goal from either of these sides to really open up the match. The longer 0-0 remains the scoreline, the more tense things will be. Cut inside by Eze.
Yes, Eze now at the top of the box, fired a shot. And the keeper drifts out of bounds as he catches it.
The officials decide to give the corner kick. Yeah, as he lands out of bounds with the save. Would have done better to just let it go, perhaps.
And that will lead to a set piece for Repentigny.
Good technique from him to hang on to the shot. Powerful one from Eze.
As the head official goes in to have a word with one of the Quebec players. As he's there with his arms above his head, shielding the keeper.
Willing to bet here if there's any contact between him and the keeper, she's going to blow it down.
Yeah, he looks like Sean Avery in front of Martin Brodeur.
Eze connecting on the header. And the bicycle kick!
The bicycle kick just wide. A glorious opportunity.
Quebec's number 9, Mohamed Chayev, I think that was.
He would have been in contention for goal of the tournament with that one.
Number 3, sorry. Gabriel Capano-Gauthier with the cheeky attempt. Show off here between the parents, just as much as there is one on the pitch between the competitors. New Brunswick boys catching all the action today in front of our broadcast booth. Happy to watch.
Enjoying some top flight soccer. The highest level at this age group in Canada.
Capano-Gauthier with the big tackle there.
Player was taken down from behind. Spinning and turning for Quebec, and then Campagna calmly collects it, the back line, and sends it forward to his midfield. Here's Colin. Colin lost the ball, and it looks like that injury is still nagging him.
Yeah, showing a grimace there.
Sent on ahead for Eze. Eze has the size advantage on Dylan and touches it out of bounds, knocking Dylan over in the process.
Not sure if the referee's calling a free kick here or just a throw-in. We'll see momentarily as Eze puts his hands up, confused, thinking he did not commit the foul.
So Karn Dillon, the captain, will leave it. That was Purewall, back to Campagna. The far side is Sayers. All the way ahead for Man, a brilliant touch. Gets around one defender.
Spectacular ball control again as he rolls the ball under his foot.
Tight roping on the sidelines, gets it back. It falls at his feet, pokes it into the penalty area.
Man, certainly up for the occasion, showing he's not scared to dribble in these high pressure situations of the semifinal action. Dylan winning the ball back cleanly.
Bikram this time. Sends it for Man. Man touches a nice one sent along to Batar.
Just off, though, that pass for a throw-in.
Now gone over into the 15th minute. 0-0 remains the score. Despite our best wishes for an early goal, that chance is slowly passing these teams by. Much to our chagrin, Merrick.
Yeah, absolutely, Jeremy. However, good pace of play here. Definitely not a dull game. There's the ball bobbling head-to-head. Finally settled by Dylan.
That's off into touch, and we'll check Twitter. There's a couple tweets coming in. One from Six God. It says, shout out to Simon Collins' bright yellow boots.
Six God, the Twitter handle of that user.
Mm-hmm. We have a more regular Twitter handle from Melissa Dubé. That's Melissa Dubé 23. She says, Repentigny is actually a little town pretty close to Montreal. So there you have it.
Thanks for getting in touch there and clarifying that. Close to Montreal, but a smaller place. Good to see a club come out of there.
Eze.
Physical dominance there against Colin. Ball inside, though.
Eze gets it back. Some good dribbling. And coming up with it is the BC side, and then the player is tripped.
Tsukunu, I thought, with the excellent recovery there. Perhaps showing too much stud on that slide tackle, though the referee having none of it.
Chip forward for Arjun Man, just out of his reach as he reached with his left foot.
Parents doing well to stay warm on the touchline here. Very mobile, chasing the play back and forth.
Gotta love it. Oh, Colin tried to head that one on target. And here's a chance. Tipped ahead, Colin cuts inside. Tees it up for Man. And that was defended well. Here's Colin again, tries to get possession, does. Dribbles into a crowd and is leveled.
Colin tackled by two players, clutching his ankle.
And the referee is going to have to pull out a yellow.
Tsukunu,
yes.
hard to tell who even really drew the foul there, because, I mean, two players flying into Simon Colin.
And Colin has been a pincushion through 15 minutes of action.
That's right, Jeremy. We see the ball, though, set nicely for a set piece. We'll see who stands on it for Surrey United Soccer Club. Dangerous area, right in the center of goal. Could be stepped to by either a left or right footer. See how the wall sets up.
And this could be fate smiling upon the BC side as we see a rainbow now behind the Quebec goal.
Beautiful rainbow there. Double rainbow, the New Brunswick boys tell me.
Yeah, check it out on YouTube, double rainbow. Everyone knows that video.
Everyone knows that video. Wow. Double rainbow. Three boys on the set piece. We've seen some clever set pieces from BC before.
And this one is a clever one indeed.
What a save.
Loose there in the box and headed out of danger for a corner. And what an amazing shot from Batar.
Kuhnerman and Batar are the three standing on the ball there, and they always, one of them flailing his hands as if he's frustrated with something. Next thing you know, he flicks the ball on a little roll from the set piece, and Batar hammers it, demanding an excellent save from the Quebec goalkeeper. Corner kick now for Surrey United as two of them stand on the ball. Simon Collin, one, Batar the other.
And Collin is going to run off. Here's a bit of misdirection again. This one to the far post. Man nearly found that with the skull. It drifts in. It's loose. Can they tap it in? No, the goal line clear. And then Collin is shoved by the keeper.
Collin, yeah, pushed by the keeper there. Kicking and swinging young Collin. I don't see that he did anything wrong there. Referee deciding to give the free kick, though, for Quebec. Exciting game here.
Yes.
0-0 the scoreline, no goals yet, but not to say we're not entertained.
Eze passes his teammate, Samuel. Here to the near side. Clubbed ahead, but there's Campagna once again.
Number 12 of Repentigny, the wingback Christian Simba.
Simba. Great name.
Absolutely. Both teams employing the 4-5-1 or 4-3-3 formation, whatever you prefer to call it. 4-2-3-1. All much the same.
Samra tried to win that one, instead it's sent off into touch as we close in on 20 minutes of gameplay. A couple shout-outs quickly to give. One from Don Coulter, says, great game so far. Surrey United looks strong. And also Tosin Koué says, Quebec squad is a beast! Exclamation points, about 6 of those there.
Beast, yeah. Any FIFA players out there, soccer video game, know that term. Sure, many of these young lads like to entertain themselves with a bit of FIFA, perhaps some Xboxes and PlayStations on the road with them at the hotel to kill time.
And obviously, Merrick, once the homework is finished, right?
Yeah, that's right.
There's Eze with a nice touch.
Scrappy play from Quebec. Unable to get the kind of possession that BC is established.
With a nice touch there. I think Collin is maybe switching up his tactic. He can't really dribble around Eze, but he has a nice touch.
Tsuku fans on one. Tsukunu.
Here to the left back. Flicked on forward. Powerful challenge by the Quebec player. On the far side of the pitch, Simba.
Arjun, man, such a good dribbler in the center of the park for Surrey United. Fantastic ball control every time he's asked to do so.
He's there tying up his shoelace.
Those flashy blue boots.
We'll take a minute to say, check out Atlantic Hockey Report. Features interviews with players and coaches from Adam all the way up to the Q. That's available on demand and online at tv1.bellline.ca.
Some Ontario supporters have stuck around, perhaps to get a bit of scouting on who they may end up facing in the final.
As a free kick has developed on the far side near the touchline for the BC squad. It'll be Collin coming over with the flashy boots himself. Collin kicking into the wind. Tees it up and turned aside. As the Quebec will look to counter, but Collin stops them. A high ball at the middle of the pitch, and that's off for a Surrey throw.
Good service from Collin. Met well by the Quebec defender.
Here in the 23rd minute, Ball sent ahead. The keeper coming out to challenge and does so well. The Sukuno sent ahead once again, and this one into the corner and will roll over the touchline. Involved
in the battle for play, Quebec, but their possession much scrappier than BC. BC have settled into this game slightly better 23 minutes in, maintaining more positive possession. Forward now through Samra, chasing.
Yes, back to retrieve is Luete.
Good first-time ball from Mann. Incredible to find Colin. His first touch lets him down, though.
Colin was shielded from the ball, but supported by Dylan.
This is a battle, Jeremy.
Did you see that great strength by Cooner force his man to the ground, and his team ends up with a throw?
This is definitely a battle. Both these teams laying everything on the line in every challenge for the ball.
Yeah, they know what's at stake. A trip to the gold medal game tomorrow at 12 p.m. Newfoundland time. That's 10:30 if you're watching from Quebec.
We get away from some of the young BC fans. Their brothers involved in today's match.
And that match would be 7:30 if you're watching from British Columbia. Not as early as watching a match at 9 a.m. Newfoundland Standard Time, but still pretty early.
Pretty early, and we'll see the free kick conceded by Quebec.
In a less than advantageous spot if you're a Quebec fan.
Yeah, we've seen excellent service throughout on these set pieces, throughout the tournament, as a matter of fact, from Surrey United Soccer Club. It's Buttar on the ball now. We'll see if he sets to swing this in with the left or right. Looks like he'll hit it with the left. He'll swing this towards that far post, looking for the head of a teammate. Perhaps will just bounce cleanly into the net. We'll see. Good service.
Chips it to the far post. Man nearly found it with his head. Kicked in by Campagna once, twice, and then cleared to the top. Swept forward again, and this time out of bounds for a goal kick. And Campagna had a couple cracks on net for the big stalwart defender.
That's right, Jeremy. We saw BC play against Newfoundland yesterday in the quarterfinal. Felians Athletic Association representing Newfoundland. BC dominating possession in that game, probably 90-10, like we're seeing them do here. Our critique of them yesterday was that they needed to be a little bit more lethal in front of goal. Today, pouncing on all these balls, just not quite the same chances as they had yesterday yet.
That was chipped on by Cooner. Cooner recovers. Nice job. Skill. And it's sent off into touch, just sliding to make the tackle was Lutete. Or
Benny, I think we hear the fans calling him. His name's Benny Dave Lutete. The Quebec fans urging him on as Benny. Cooner finds himself onside to try and cross the ball in, but deflected for a corner kick.
Another set piece for the Surrey side now in the 27th minute. Colin is there. Buttar will come in to support.
Linesman says, interesting there, not sure if you can see it on the stream. The BC player accidentally kicking the ball out of bounds. The linesman quick to raise the flag and say, he played that corner kick, too bad. Turning over possession. BC fans not impressed.
Here's Colin with space.
Samra charging forward.
Yes, along the touchline, dribbling well and sent off for a deep throw.
Samra hoping to win the corner kick there, trying to influence the assistant official, but not the case.
Even from our vantage point, we could see that it wasn't below the goal line.
Worth a good, honest try, perhaps. Not necessarily honest, but
a try.
A try.
Colin to take the throw.
As our double rainbow no longer in the picture.
And man was waiting for that, but it was headed away from danger. And then skipped out from danger by Perizo. The advantage will be given to Surrey as they are getting free kick and set piece after set piece in the offensive half.
Yeah, this one a little bit deeper. Don't know that they'll threaten the goal from here. Yeah, looks as though they're going to have some crossers on the ball, not their strikers looking to put the ball towards the goal. Colin standing on this one. He'll do the same as Batar did from this near side, but with the opposite boot, bending the ball towards the far post, hoping for either player to get on the end of it or to find its way to the back of the net on its own.
Here it is from Colin. Hits a player in the wall and it'll drift out behind the goal line for another corner. Yes.
As that deflected wide of the goal by a Quebec player.
Batar, the lone man in the corner to take it this time with his left foot. Just making sure his sock is pulled up.
Perhaps a signal from him telling his teammates where he's going to play his ball.
Beautiful one. The keeper got a hand on it.
As Ezzy forced to clear with a great clearance.
Very high. Colin there chips it toward the goal. Colin again. It's a high one, man.
Great first touch, but
looked like he might have thought to hit the volley. Another great touch by Mann. Shot is blocked at the top of the penalty area. And here is Eze. Eze goes right around Dylan, but the ball flies right over my head. Oh, wow.
Into the broadcast booth.
And out.
And out just as quickly as we nearly take a hit there.
Luckily, the camera didn't get hit. That would be the end of it. But yes.
As Dylan hammered the clearance. Perhaps not happy with our commentary. Not that he can hear.
And Merrick, we've been tempting fate all weekend long, and it finally comes right into our wheelhouse.
Finally catches up with us, saying what we please about all these young players.
Wow. Here's an excellent ball into the area. Parizeau on the far touchline wins the throw.
Probably the tallest player in the tournament, Parizeau. Looks to be at least 6 feet tall.
And with a very stylish man bun already for a 14-year-old.
Some extra height through the hairstyle selection as well. Lots of fans at this semifinal, probably the most we've seen. Also the most decent weather we've seen today. Temperatures climbing a little bit for this final game of the afternoon. 4 p.m. kickoff here at Newfoundland time. 30 minutes expired in the first half. 0-0 still the scoreline. BC dominating possession for the most part.
And then sent off into... Looked like it was going to go into the yard next to our facility. Instead, it stays in. Here's the throw. Looks like it'll be tried to launch into the penalty area. It skips over Campagna.
Not often you see that, Jeremy.
No, I think that's the first time I've actually seen him not able to handle the ball exactly how he intended.
Rarely misjudges.
I've yet to see him get beat one-on-one. Colin chips it ahead, giving chase.
Samra.
Yes, Samra, and then denied by the keeper.
The ball bouncing too much. Boy, these fans are into this game. Not sure if you can see them.
Look at Campagna there. Campagna definitely raising eyebrows if there's any scouts in attendance.
Ooh, as we see two heads collide. Both players appear to be okay anyway.
Samra tries to poke it onward for Mann. Wide for Batar. Batar with one touch inside. Off the chest now. Low pass, good one. Cooner. He gets it back, winds. Decides to pass it wide for Colin.
First touch ball, great one.
Here's the volley. He said it takes off the chest and bangs it wide. Arjun Mann with a brilliant opportunity.
Thought about taking that one on the glorious scissor kick first time. You saw his shoulder shimmy. Decides to take it in off the chest, hammering the half volley just wide of the target. Like to commend that cross attempt from Colin. An excellent ball first time into the penalty area, creating the opportunity for men. And we see the Quebec girls team come in to cheer their boys on. Create some more noise for them, perhaps. Studs flying here for both teams.
And that'll roll down the touchline and out behind the goal line for a goal kick.
Nearing the end of first half action. Tension's high. Is either team able to differentiate themselves with a goal? We see some chirping back and forth between the number 9 of Quebec, Mohamed Shayev, and his counterparts, the two center defenders, central backs for BC.
BC has had solid possession numbers so far in the half, led in part by Mann. And even when he falls down on the ball, he still has control. And now back the other way. Here's a chance for Quebec to counter.
Good tackle by Purwall. Also such a solid defender for BC. In crazy action here.
Yeah.
Bodies flying.
Sent ahead, defended on the back line. Eze. To be taken by the Quebec.
The wing back there, number 12 for Quebec. Christian Simba standing ground, showing some good dribbling as well to play the ball back to his centered counterpart.
Man was able to get it away from Capano Gauthier. Up ahead, nice turn, but there's Campagna once again.
Big tackle from Mohamed Shayev, hanging on to the ball too while he does so. Very neatly from the center forward, but nothing comes of it.
Our man send it for Colin.
These players are flinging themselves at the ball.
The shot from Colin, a low one that bounces into the keeper's hands.
Not enough on that one from him. Good effort though from about 25 yards.
We've entered the 35th minute. Quebec may have one final chance to strike the target. Sent ahead for Eze. Eze on Dylan.
He shows his spectacular covers yards in fractions of seconds.
Here's Boyer. He'll hand it off. The throw in to come from Simba. Simba, he's going to throw a soft one for Eze. And sent into the next county. That's over into the drink alongside the grounds of our park, the King George V Park. So that's going to be a ball that need to be retrieved.
Still can't believe we don't have any holes in our enclosure after that rocket clearance earlier found its way firing through the opening of our broadcast booth. Our trusty blue tarp, though, up to the task.
Here's a chance, a nice strike.
A wobbler from Sean Boyer.
As we are no doubt going to hear the whistle very soon. And that does it. The first half in the books. Great matchup between the Quebec side and the BC side. 0-0 the score after 35. The winner of this matchup will be going on to the championship game. And right now, it's still up for grabs.
That's right, Jeremy. We'll be back with second half action after just a short break.
Before we do, though, we'll read out some shout-outs coming in on Twitter. A lot of them, actually. One from Harjinder Singh says, "Come on, Bikram," from your uncle in the UK. One from Mike Hawk. He says, "Sir United is more beast." And Harjinder Singh, who's figuring out Twitter, sent one in just hashtag, and then he says, again, "Come on, Bikram." One from Simon Martin says, "Go Tofik," hashtag QC13. And then Jack GB, he says, "Hi, Jeremy. Better zoom out your camera for both a better resolution and view." So thanks for Jack. We're not actually working the camera. That's the cameraman, but we'll take it into account. And that does it for the first half. We'll take a break and be back to you with coverage of the second. This is Sport Check National Club Championship Under 14 Cup on Bellline Fiber Up TV1. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to our continuing coverage of the Sport Check National Club Championship Under 14 Cup on Bellline Fiber Op TV1. My name is Jeremy Reynolds. Joining me again for the second half, Marek Nakoniekny.
Happy to be here, Jeremy. 0-0 the score between these two sides. Something or someone looking to create the breakthrough.
Yes, 0-0, your score. The possession in the first half was solidly in favor of the Surrey side.
Definitely.
The ball is sent in all the way to the keeper. It dribbles there, and trying to pounce was Jacob Soul, the second half substitute.
We're also getting a first look at, that's not true, not a first look, but Nathan Demian into the game on this near side left wing for BC.
Arjun Man tipped on ahead for Soul, and then he is dispossessed.
Yeah, Soul stumbles a little bit there.
Quebec trying to string together an attack. Broken up off the chest of Soul, leaves it for Man. He's defended well. There's Campagna again. This time the ball gets by him. Not very many times in this tournament we've seen him being beat like that.
He's always the first one to get there, isn't he?
He is. He has excellent speed when he chooses to close. There's not a player who can meet his pace, it should seem. Never a long run from the player, but always a quick burst of speed. That's off along the touchline, which is filled with supporters for the BC and the Quebec side, as they have switched their side of support, as the teams have switched sides on the field. There, Gauthier with the touch. No, sorry, Parizeau. As Parizeau touches it on. Campagna. Now back to Parizeau. Parizeau, and he steps over that, dribbling it out of bounds.
We were discussing at the half, Jeremy, with BC dominating possession and Quebec sort of struggling to get a solid hold of the ball. You just get the feeling that they will come around and eventually find some possession themselves. See if they're able to threaten a goal if they do so.
Demian turned it over through midfield. Swept forward by Purewall from the back line. Now the fight for it in the middle of the pitch. Man come up with it. He is a great dribbler over the head of Luke Lay, who is also in the game now.
Nifty little dribbler himself, Luke Lay. Lots of players on this BC team. Very confident on the ball.
Eze in space. Tipped forward and then cleared out of any dangerous play. Sent ahead for Soul and back the other way. Nice touch by Boyer. Wide for Parizeau, who's offside.
Only just, I do believe, Jeremy, but a fraction off nonetheless.
Parizeau has shown some flashes of his speed and athleticism down the right touchline. And a goal kick now to come. Oh, sorry, my mistake. It was offside. As Campagna will take back to Campagna. The pressure's on. We'll see what the steady defender does, and he is very confident in his touches.
Yeah, handled the pressure well there, turning back inside, linking up with his partner, Purawal.
Quebec now will look to counter through midfield, and Campagna up again. You can't get the ball by him.
No, always there, isn't he? As Eze with the handball infraction.
Purewall to Campagna. Campagna pressure from behind and sends it back to goal. A high kick floats. It's touched on by the BC team. Some back and forth play. Neither team establishing major possession time in the second half so far. We'll see if BC can change that. They are so good, but instead it's Quebec down the touchline, managing to keep it in with a great burst of speed was Christian Simba. Quebec chants. Quebec fans are chanting "Allez" for their squad. They're breaking out the chants. They have the Vuvuzela. They have their drinks with them along the sideline, keeping them warm.
Wouldn't mind one of those, Jeremy. Nice hot beverage.
On a cold day like this in St. John's, it wouldn't go astray.
One of the parents tuning in to a stream on his phone, perhaps another child in action elsewhere in the country.
Perizot, that's blocked for a corner. So Quebec now with a set piece try. Looks like it will be Perizot to set the ball. And he will switch out, coming in to kick this, swing it in is Simba. As we see Simba lining up. He has 5 players crashing toward the net, one waiting in the
almost falls there.
Falls harmlessly directly in the keeper's area.
Could have been dangerous there as the center back, number 3, Gabriel Capano-Gauthier, almost got to the end of it.
And the way this game is going, Merrick, it seems like if one team can score a goal, that could be all the difference that is needed. Who knows, Jacob Soul could be the guy. He's scored in previous affairs, coming in as a substitute.
Good ball to Perizot now.
It's Perizot, guarded though by Campagna. Now we'll see how good Campagna can be, and he runs Perizot right off the ball and wins the throw. Campagna never failing to impress.
So solid at the back for Surrey United. Christian Campagna.
Thrown to Campagna. Tees it up down the near touchline. Bounces in and then out. Quick throw. Touched well by Boyer. Boyer gets around the defender but can't get around Campagna.
Formidable tackle once again.
And swept out into midfield.
We do see BC coming out a little bit flatter in this second half after having so much of the possession in the first.
That's off into touch in front of the Quebec bench. As Jacob Soul is nursing an ankle, it would seem, as he collided, I believe it was with Benny-Dave Letete. Seems to be okay. So Purewall will take this one. Settles there, man. Tries to head it on to Luke Lay. Tip forward for Soul. Can he run onto this one in time? And he does, but the save made.
Gets crunched, Jacob Soul.
He does. I think offside is the call, and Soul is down in pain. He's grabbing. It looked to be at his hamstring.
Just to conclude that for you, Cooner was the one offside as he played the ball through to Jacob Soul. Referee not seeing the flag until Soul comes into a big collision with the goalkeeper, which didn't need to happen necessarily, as the offside call could have been made a bit sooner. Jacob Soul getting up. Some good sportsmanship from the Quebec players as they help him out. The Quebec fans are pointing to us that they've got the stream on the iPhone, so they're listening into our commentary down on the sideline.
It's like a baseball fan going to watch a game and having the radio tuned in. That is a sky-high ball, 50-50. Luke Lay gets under it and manages to come away.
Quebec with the better of the play in the second half. BC haven't settled into this portion of the match yet.
And we knew Quebec would come out firing.
That's right. They had a good adjustment, maybe. A good talking to at the half.
Eze fighting for it. There's Campagna to sweep it away.
The referee will call it back, though, an infraction on the field. Too much contact for her liking. The head official.
So free kick. Coming up to take it will be Simba. Simba with the left boot. A good ball to the far post. Arjun Man defended that one well.
Very good ball in.
Still bouncing 50-50. Parizeau found it with his head. Another high ball to the top of the penalty area. Campagna, a soft touch off to Parizeau. Man now. Parizeau again.
Neither of these teams showing the patience to settle it until it falls to number 7, Sean Boyer. His shot wide, however. Really scrappy play there from both teams, as nerves certainly increasing here the longer the score at 0-0.
As the cheers coming from the Quebec side as their team will press.
Good ball
Look
from
at
Cooner.
Luke Lay flying up the pitch, keeps that from being swept out into touch. Now support BC, and a nice slide tackle there to stymie the attack.
Yeah, big one there. Stacking the pads, essentially. The Quebec defenders. Parizeau finds himself through.
The Campagna couldn't defend that one. To the back line and off. Running with too much pace was Parizeau to keep it from going out.
Into the bleacher, the young lad. I need to say, young. We're at the Under-14 Cup here. If that wasn't the name of the tournament, you would say perhaps much older, Parizeau. Easily 6 feet tall. Dominating those air balls.
Flicked onward, here's a chance.
Important tackle from Purwall. The quieter of the two, perhaps, center defenders.
Touch the head for
Surrey
Seoul.
United.
Arjun Man. And it is controlled again by Quebec, who is winning the battle through midfield in the...
And the 2 number 8s with a big battle on that far side as well.
Quickly thrown in and off the head of Luke Lane out again. So we have a few shout-outs coming in on Twitter. Sanjay says, let's go Bikram, take the team to the finals from your uncle and Aunt Paul and Lucky and cousin Sonny. Also one from Willie Stroker says, Simon Collin is going to score the winning goal, so we have a goal prediction for Collin.
Love to see that. Not on the field at the moment. Maybe he will be back in the game. A handball. The referee awards Quebec the CS Repentigny side with a free kick from roughly 25, maybe 30 yards out. Standing on the ball is Gabriel Capano Gauthier, as well as number 8, Evans Eze. Eze Evans, maybe. We don't know if that's a mistake.
And the wind is indeed blowing towards that goal, as Don Coulter is asking on Twitter. A nice strike and just parried aside by the keeper.
Eze off the left boot of Eze, an incredible strike, curling towards that near-sided post. And the BC goalkeeper, Jordan Marwood, making a phenomenal stop.
Marwood had his work cut out for him as that was a pinpoint strike. And now a corner to match as Parizeau is jostling for position with Arjun Man on the far side post. This in, Parizeau, it almost found his head, but I think it was steered aside by Campagna.
Nothing there in the referee's eyes until Dillon taken down harshly. The second contact on that play.
Referee does not want to start showing cards at this point in the match, see if she can keep calmer heads. As the trainer is now being signaled, and we'll take this time to mention you should check out Inside the AUS. It includes interviews with players, coaches, and administrators of Atlantic University Sport, running from now all the way until the end of the season, which is around April. That's available online at tv1.bellline.ca or on demand on fiber-op television.
As Parizeau leaves the game for Quebec, incoming Joey Perdi Laflamme finding himself in this right wing position to replace him. A substitution as well for BC as Buttar poised to come back on. Interesting to see who the BC coaching staff will be removing from the game. With Dylan leaving, might affect their substitution choice as he passes the armband onto Purawal.
As we've now passed the 50-minute mark, 0-0 your score. As we get some injury time accumulating. More shout-outs coming in on Twitter. One from Mo Lester says, come on, BC, let's get the win. Let's get a goal here. It's very straightforward in his approach as Mo on Twitter. And then, sorry, go ahead.
Is Buttar in for the injured Dylan as Demian will go and play right back where Dylan was. That's how BC have dealt with the injury.
Argent Man looked to have met his match in Boyer. Sent forward. The touch is made here in midfield, circling back. That's Shayev. And then off in behind the goal line.
Too much on that pass attempt from Mohamed Shayev. So tense here.
It is, yeah, much more of a tense feeling than we had in the previous match. At this point in that match, there were at least 5 goals on the board. Perhaps maybe, no, 4 goals at least. The keeper has to come out to challenge at the edge of his penalty area.
Very close to the edge, almost falling outside. Does well to keep it inside his penalty area.
Campagna is motioning his team forward. And you know, BC seems to have adopted a more defensive posture in Quebec. They are the aggressors in this half.
Campagna, though, reading the place ever so well.
Once again.
His man gets going.
He'll send it wide. Nice wait. Waiting for it was Buttar. Buttar.
Massive slide tackle.
Well,
though.
But the advantage given. It looked like he got ball.
Thomas Gagnon. The referee perhaps not happy with how much stud he showed on that tackle.
And he came out worse for wear in that collision with Buttar.
That's right.
And he'll be in no rush to move, considering the free kick has been awarded. He's helped up by Buttar, so a great display of showmanship. Not showmanship, camaraderie.
He gets up, though, and he's confused. How come his side forced to defend the set piece?
So Luke Lay has a chance to launch this one on goal. And a shot that curled inside.
Fairly dangerous free kick, but handled well by the Quebec goalkeeper. Yannick Rochette in goal for Quebec.
Eze with the throw, a high one. Ends up off a couple of heads. The pinball, the cross, and defended by Campagna. Boyer dancing in the corner. Nice turn. And player dispossessed, but there's Boyer again, and he's felled from behind by Luke Lay.
Quebec win themselves a free kick close to the penalty area. Far on the opposite side of the pitch. We'll see someone from their side try and swing that in. Gabriel Capano-Gauthier heading toward the set piece. Poised to swing it in. Lots of height for the Quebec side in that penalty area. The likes of Eze, Tsukunu.
One player who's not on the pitch now who has that height is Periso. But this is a very precarious position for BC to defend from. So we are set here in the 54th minute. That one is steered into the corner.
Pretty good delivery But we see Vikram Dillon now, his brother, out of the game with an injury. He's holding on to his right knee, what it looks like from here. Likely requiring some assistance from the physio.
Yep, not a good sign, especially considering one Dillon brother is already out of the match. The trainer is yet to be called over, so that Dillon brother has got to his feet and will have another corner.
Seems to be okay there.
15 minutes now to go before we are into the 70th and final minute. So lots of time left for these two squads to strike, and here's the corner.
Good service. As Tsukunu climbs to it. His header just wide. Good effort from him. Excellent service from the defender, who's flying back to his position now. For Repentigny, number 17, I believe. Thomas Gagnon here on this wing back with a beautiful cross in from the corner kick.
Bit of a weak goal kick, though. Here's Boyer. He was on the left flank, now on the right. Tried to tip it ahead. Tsukunu chipped forward. Eze is there first. Tries a
heroic first-time effort.
Heroic, to be sure.
Never going to threaten the goal with that attempt.
So that'll stop play for the time being. We'll take time to check Twitter. Justine Martin. She says, "You can do it. Hashtag CS Repentigny." So thank you, Justine. As the Quebec side has their supporters very vocal, going back to the cheers for saying "Allez, allez." Keeper slid on the goal kick. And is controlled by Luke Lay on the far side and earns his team a throw.
A good bit of dribbling from Lay to earn that throw in. Challenged by Eze. Asked to move back though with the throw in is Demian, Nathan Demian. Inching too far forward for the referee's liking. Luke Lay with a neat flick on, collects it himself.
On for Sol, tipped ahead. Into the penalty area. It's loose there, and the advantage given to the Quebec side.
Cooner offside, I think, on that run.
Yeah, the linesman had the flag up.
Ending the threat on goal with the whistle, the referee.
Little misdirection from the keeper. Sent forward.
Campagna again. Such a good defender, the young man. Certainly in the sights of any CSA reps scouting the match here.
Yeah, there's hardly a ball that's gotten by him.
I have no doubt that any scouts do know his name at this point.
Perdi Laflemme was working with Boyer. Into support is Tsukunu. And Tsukunu is dispossessed by Boutard. So advancing will be Campagna.
Campagna urging his teammates to settle down here.
Let's hear from Campagna. Lots of air underneath that kick down the touchline. Flick forward, inbounds. Jacob Soul giving chase.
Quick, Jacob Soul. Earning his
Sent
side
off.
the throw in.
Yes, the throw in to come in the offensive third of the pitch for the Surrey United team. Boutard with the throw.
Fans on their feet here, as they have been all game.
Here's Mann into the middle of the pitch. Tries a shot from about 40 feet away. Harmlessly deflects in behind the net.
Yeah, pops one from distance. Haven't had any real opportunities this half, BC. So you figured, why not? That strike, tame in the end, as it sails wide.
We now in the 60th minute. And advantage given to British Columbia, so they'll have a chance off a set piece to launch one into the penalty area and perhaps wreak some havoc in the process. Quebec, they've done a lot of attacking. Let's see if they can keep up their pace on the defensive side now. Purewall. Nice ball in, but steered aside. Batar on the near side. Sees it run out of bounds for a throw.
Yeah, that
Batar.
ball hammered cleared by Lutet.
That one over the top of man. Batar here shields the player and earns another throw. Into man once more. Flick on. Here for Jacob Soul. Toward the middle of the field. And it's swept back to midfield, but there met to meet it is Purewall. It's Croyer. Tried to get it ahead for Eze, and then it's off into touch in front of the Quebec bench. Luke Lay takes the throw in. Flicked onward. Tip to Soul. He's chasing it down. Can he get there? No.
Defended well there by Capano Gauthier. Central defender for Repentigny.
And then a high ball. This will be a 50-50 challenge.
Dylan getting on the end of it with the header forward.
Swept back by Purewall. Croyer sends it ahead. Taken in midfield. And then for Eze, but it's out of bounds. So we've now crossed the 61-minute mark. No goal scored. Both teams have threatened in the second half, but nothing since the early going off all those corners and set pieces for the Quebec side. Controlled neatly by, let's see if we can find him, Nathan Demian. There's Luke Lay. This time his dribbling can't get him out of danger. Croyer tipped ahead, battling for it. Croyer is taken down. Now
Boyer, I believe. Number 7 for Quebec.
Boyer. That's right, yes. I was saying Croyer, sorry about that. There he is, Boyer. Runs it out of bounds. Wants the call from the official. He's not going to have it.
Fans on their feet here. Not happy to watch from the bleachers. Getting as close to the action as possible.
That's sent ahead for Eze, but defended by Purewall. Again for Eze. He has Purdy Laflamme with him. That's sent off there on the far touchline is Demian. Now for Lay. Touches it onward, no one there. Boyer gets it. Dribbles around a couple players, sent ahead. Here's Eze. Eze couldn't turn the corner. We get a stoppage.
Will we see some magic here in the dying moments? Quebec rushed the free kick wastefully as a short pass is picked off.
And then it was sent down, but Jacob Soul wasn't paying attention. He may have had a chance to run onto that one. Instead, it's Purdy Laflamme. Here he is. To the
Bit of
middle
skill
of the
from
pitch.
him.
Back to Laflamme and disrupted. That defended by Sayers. Arjun man now with space. Chops it ahead. Intended for Soul, but can't get past the defense. And all the way back into the hands of the keeper now in the 63rd minute. We'll remind the viewers out there that if this game ends after regulation, it'll go straight to penalties.
As
No
we saw,
extra time.
The other semifinal ending in a draw.
And we have a collision as players bump heads on the circle, at the edge of the circle. It's Jacob Soul and trying to get a number for the other player, one of the center backs.
Number 3, I believe, Gabriel Capano Gauthier. They both go down. Referee forced to blow the whistle as under any circumstance where an injury to the head is perceived. Both trainers entering the field to check on their players.
We'll take this time to check Twitter, see if there's any more shoutouts that have come through. It's been a very exciting game, and a lot of people have been watching, both from British Columbia and Quebec. We have a few here. This from Mike Litoris, or Litori. He says, Allez, Surrey. So a bit of a French-English fusion. Allez, Surrey. So he's saying go to Surrey. And also from, funny name. I'm just going to read out what his tweet is. It says, nail-biting game, come on, Surrey.
Try to get the better of us there, I think.
Yes. We're not like Ron Burgundy. We're not going to read everything that you put in front of us. Although pretty close.
Almost happened. It's Jacob Soul. We should see both players forced to leave the pitch here as they receive treatment before coming back in. Gavin Samra coming back in the game. He would love to make an impact here in the dying moments. The super sub he would be if he scored with 5 minutes left.
And now a chance for Surrey on the attack with space up the middle. Firing a shot low and handled by the keeper once more as it bounced in front of him. Both these teams battling for their gold medal hopes and dreams. It looks like it will be a single goal that'll be the difference here, if indeed one is scored in regulation. And the free kick now to come for the Surrey squad. Pure wall, a bit of
Stealing
trickery.
a couple inches. He'll get away with it. No, he won't, as the referee asks. Quebec player, frustrated, urges him forward.
So here it is, to see if he can make this reach into the penalty area.
We've seen some good service in Purewall throughout this tournament on these deep crossing free kicks. Again,
a
it's
good one,
ball.
yes, to the middle of the penalty area. The volley is into the back
And a
of the
goal.
net. Arjun Mann scores, 1-0 to score. The keeper got a piece of it, but couldn't beat Mann, and his strike puts his team up 1-0 in the 68th minute. What a strike. Arjun Mann putting his team up. Oh, I don't even know what to say. It's an amazing feeling if you're a BC fan right now.
As they celebrate wildly here. The first shot attempt blocked, second one falls to Mann. Fitting for him to score, I think. Standout player for BC. Hammers home the volley with no mistake, given the opportunity. BC not creating much this second half after dominating the play in the first. Find themselves up a goal to nil. 67th minute of action just ended. 68th, sorry. Dying moments of the match. Massive goal for the young man. You can see the excitement for him and his teammates as they celebrated the goal. The work not over yet, though, as they've got to hang on to this lead if they want to move ahead to the final.
One of the biggest goals in that young man's career.
So far. Anyway, at the tender age of 14. CSA official here asking parents and fans to step back a little bit from the field of play.
You can't blame them for getting excited.
That's right.
As time is wasting in the Quebec side, Repentigny is getting very impatient with the throw. Referee has allowed it to happen at this point. Set ahead for Eze, and Purewall is there. Purewall and Campagna have been a defensive fortification on the back line, and there again is Campagna.
Incredible defender, Jeremy.
Do have an interesting note on Campagna that came through on Twitter. This one from Sean Porter. He says, the scouts can keep drooling over Christian Campagna. However, after this, he goes to the Whitecaps full-time residency program.
Fair enough. Not hard to believe, Jeremy.
And that one into the drink.
The Whitecaps happy to pluck them at this young age, 14, just at the beginning of their very important developmental years. That chunk from 14 to 16 or 17 or so. Excellent to hear that player involved in the tournament already linked with a professional academy in Vancouver Whitecaps.
And now an opportunity for the Quebec side after we see a substitution. Boudard going off in the 70th minute now. As we see 4 minutes of extra time being displayed by the fourth official.
I think that's Aujla coming into the game. I could be mistaken. What we really learned from that tweet, Jeremy, is we do pretty handily as a couple of scouts.
Call
eye
like
for
we see
talent.
it. Yes, indeed. As the crowd going insane, hoping their team could get a crack on net.
Campagna urging his players to move the line forward.
Here's Campagna. Is he going to meet it? No, it's man instead.
The goal scorer willing to work hard defensively as well. His clearance wide to Aujla.
But Aujla gets there in time with those lime green boots of his. And for Eze over the top. That's Bureau. Sending it, it's sent wide, and he'll throw it in on the far touchline.
Quebec, the CS Repentigny side, throwing everyone forward in the dying moments of this match.
And again,
as Turwal hammers the clearance.
So he sent it into the stratosphere on one side of the pitch and then into the over the fence on the other. It's Eze sliding to keep it in bounds. He does.
Again, clearance from Cooner there. BC players doing everything they can to close out this match. We're officially into the referee's injury time. Quebec fans briefly silenced here. They find themselves a goal down. Big collection from young Jordan Marwood, the goalkeeper for BC. Solid, as this match must be nearing an end.
His best collection, biggest collection, shall I say, of the entire match. Possibly the entire tournament, and then leveled at the center line was the BC player, Gavin Samra.
And the foul there, likely to take out whatever's left in this game. Slight mistake from the young Quebec player to draw the foul, chewing precious time off the clock. Quebec players so frustrated on the field. You see Eze, allez les gars, urging his players that with a little bit of magic, they would dream only of tying it up.
And the supporters on Twitter are still keeping hopes alive. Melissa Dubé says, come on, Repin, do your magic. They still believe, although the time is dwindling now. It's into the corner and off for a corner kick.
Gavin Samra doing absolutely everything you could ask from a target man. The center forward shielding the ball and winning the corner kick for his side.
He'll be supported by Mann. Mann, the goal scorer. They'll just waste time in the corner shielding the ball. Off into touch again for a throw.
As the player, Samra, is in a little bit of pain there. The Quebec player throws the ball at the three BC players. He's going to get a red card here. At least a yellow.
A yellow, yes. As the frustrations are boiling over for the Quebec Repentigny's side.
Yeah, strutting away from the referee there. Not interested in anything she has to say. Mohamed Shayef happy to just take the yellow. He knows he was wrong there.
Here's Luke Lay. Arjun Mann. And he will send it out into touch and back the other way. Perhaps one last chance for Quebec. Fired down the field. Touched by Eze. De Broyer. And then Campagna calmly sends it out into touch on the near side. Referee still letting them play. Boyer. Flipped over by Mann, and this is just what the Quebec side needed. One last chance.
One last set piece. Honestly, didn't see a foul there, in my opinion. Referee choosing to give it. Everybody must go in the box here. I don't understand why the goalkeeper hasn't gone. Certainly the last chance here for Repentigny.
Not a great ball inside. Eze running back. And that is going to do it, I believe. It's sent down the pitch, out into touch. Referee has the whistle out. And that does it. Final score 1-0 for the Surrey United Soccer Club. They defeat CS Repentigny 1-0 in this second semifinal of the day. They're going to go off. The Surrey side will face Toronto Fury tomorrow at 12 p.m. Newfoundland time, or 7:30 if you're watching in the Pacific time zone.
As the parents here shake hands just as the players are about to. Heartbroken, the Repentigny players. You can see it in their eyes. Fought hard all game. But BC, through Arjun Mann's great finish in the 67th minute, closing out the semifinal, moving on to play Toronto Epic FC tomorrow.
The Quebec side.
And we're hearing something down here from a BC fan that we heard from the UK, from the Dylan boys family.
Mr. Singh, was it?
Brother-in-law cheering on his nephews.
And the BC side and the Quebec side had quite a spirited tilt. Lots of supporters chiming in from home in Montreal, Repentigny, and as well in Surrey and the Lower Mainland in Vancouver, British Columbia. That's going to do it. Semi-final in the books. We do have some final shout-outs to give on Twitter. Not going to go through the actual words everyone is using on Twitter, but just to say thank you, Mike Hawk, Monique, Alicia Mann, cheering for Arjun Mann, obviously. It's his sister, and his sisters are cheering for him. Willie Stroker and Tom Samuntri, who was cheering at the very end for his Quebec side.
And the players shake hands after an excellent display from both teams. BC edging out Quebec 1-0, the score in the semifinal.
And Merrick, I believe we were talking about one goal could perhaps be the difference, and that indeed was the fact. Arjun Mann, the goal scorer, putting his team into the semis.
Great finish. Opportunistic goal as it falls to him off the set piece, hammering home the volley with no mistake. That's it for us today. Finals tomorrow.
Yeah, they kick off 9 a.m. in Newfoundland time. That's the girls' final. And the boys will follow at 12 noon. If you're watching from Vancouver or in the Pacific time zone, we'll remind you that'll be 7:30 a.m. So get your eggs, your bacon, and your coffee and tune into Bell Liant Fiber Op TV1. On behalf of Merrick, my name is Jeremy Reynolds. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a good night. That's all from St. John's, King George V Field for the Sport Check National Club Championships.